to see what's brewing.
Gentlemen, I've called this meeting to talk bags.
Too many late nights, if you ask me.
Not the bags under your eyes, chump.
Windbags.
I'm talking big bags.
Our daughter's in PG.
The perfect example. PG tips use big bags which give the leaves more room to create that special PG taste. You see, gentlemen, the
Size is important after all.
There's no other tea to beat PG.
It's the taste.
Good, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very impressive turnout. In fact, the only person I can't see here is the ambassador. Ah, that's better.
What the devil do you think you're playing at, Latham?
I was about to ask you the same question, Ambassador. Yesterday, you collected rather a lot of money from this man, and today we hear you are to meet a courier in this very embassy. That, Ambassador, is the behavior pattern of a mole.
It is the behavior pattern of a man who has lost his Barclay card. First they send emergency cash, then a replacement card.
Oh, come on, Mr. Moley. Yes, Bob, let him in, the more the merrier. A Barclay card. To Moscow. And how do they do that, pray? By motorcycle messenger? Thank you, Sir Wilfred, for taking part in our training exercise. Realism is obviously of paramount importance. Come on, Bob, untie Sir Wilfred.
Here's a little story about Royal London, always by my side offering me protection. I call him Royal London, I call him Royal London. They keep you covered day after day. That's right, I woke up with the blues the other day. Royal London came and just shoot them away. I call him Royal London. That's right.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. Golden flakes of corn encrusted with honey, nuts, and brown sugar. Altogether, quite irresistible. Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. The trouble is they taste too good.
If there was a place that had all the comforts you could wish for, where you could take a well-deserved break, a place where you could relax over a drink, enjoy a great meal, where the dishes are tempting and the temptation is great, and if you could have a room for just £49.50 a night or only £39.50 a night at weekends, and if the children could stay free, wouldn't you? For reservations, free phone 40 Post House on 0800 40 40 40.
Rachel Hunter is one of the world's top models. She's also Mrs. Rod Stewart. Now in the Daily Mail, she reveals her own natural diet for a whirlwind lifestyle. The simple routine that keeps her in great shape and in great demand. How she keeps her radiant looks 24 hours a day. Read Body Beautiful by Mrs. Rod Stewart, starting tomorrow only in the Daily Mail.
Tuesday on Anglia.
There's supposed to be a cake in here somewhere. We'll be asking, are too many goods overwrapped?
And we'll find out how a supermarket slip-up landed a shopkeeper in court.
I meet a viewer who reckons many of the region's old houses are being ruined, and a lot of the new ones just don't fit in.
And our psychologist, Stephen Hunt, reveals his personal phobia.
Join Jane Irving and Graham Donaldson for Help, Tuesday at 7:30 on Anglia.
You're watching Anglia Television.
The news from ITN.
Philippines refugees flee volcano danger zone. Tens of thousands are heading towards the capital, Manila, tonight after 2 more eruptions from Mount Pinatubo. Roads are jammed solid as people try to escape. More than 60 are now known to have died. Scientists say, however, that they no longer expect the mountain to blow itself apart. ITN's Mark Austin has been to Angeles, one of the towns worst affected by the volcano.
In the hours of darkness, they left Angeles city whichever way they could. South, out of the danger zone, leaving their homes to the mercy of the mountain. Rural people, scared people, heading for the capital, taking what little they could carry. Behind them, the place they called the City of Angels, buildings wrecked by ash and rock falls in which several people were killed. 8 of them when the main bridge in Angeles collapsed on houses below during a mud flow. In Angeles, the wet ash was 6 inches deep in places. Even with transport, getting out was a problem. Some tried to take their livelihoods with them. But with every eruption, more mud, ash and debris flows down the mountain. Houses and villages have been destroyed. Many people reported dead or missing. Villagers try to salvage wood and possessions. For hundreds of square miles, mud and ash cover the landscape, more people leaving by the hour.
The people in this village, just a few miles from Mount Pinatubo, are now preparing to evacuate. The problem for the authorities, what to do about the thousands still stranded in inaccessible areas.
And the people fear it can only get worse. Mark Austin, ITN, in the Philippines.
Early results from the Indian general election suggest the Congress party of the murdered former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi has done better than expected, but maybe not enough to secure an overall majority. At least 75 people are now known to have died when Sikh separatists massacred Hindu train passengers in the Punjab last night.
In spite of the lowest ever voter turnout, there are often 500,000 votes to be counted in an Indian parliamentary constituency. Early results gave rise to elation among Congress party supporters. This may in the end prove to be a little premature. Only a few hours before counting began, separatists in the troubled state of the Punjab ambushed 2 trains and gunned down at least 75 passengers. This was the worst of a series of bloody incidents aimed at preventing people in the Punjab from exercising their franchise under the Indian Constitution. Meanwhile, this woman was arrested in southern India on suspicion of having given shelter to Rajiv Gandhi's assassin. An alleged accomplice, seen here and described as a Sri Lankan Tamil separatist, has also been taken in for questioning. In what's transpired as the most violent election in India's history, the inflamed passions are unlikely to subside even after the polls. Indeed, the uncertainty of another hung parliament looms large on the horizon. Ashish Rai, ITN, New Delhi.
The former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher is expected to re-enter the debate on Britain's role in Europe tomorrow during a visit to the United States. But it's thought that, for the sake of party unity, her speech will be toned down to show broad backing for John Major's views on Europe.
Mrs Thatcher's chosen nationhood as the theme for her speech tomorrow. And though she hasn't cleared the speech with number 10, it's clear she's decided not to rock the boat. Instead, she's expected to restate the views she's often put forward in the past.
My guess is she'll say what she's always said, what she said in the Bruges speech, that she's extremely keen on the European community. She doesn't want to submerge our national identity in it, and she therefore wants to take a very hard-headed view of the steps towards that economic and monetary union which we signed up to.
The Tory party is deeply divided, as we see week by week, over important issues of Britain's future in the European community, and that means that instead of being in the lead in these important developments, Britain again is dragging along in the rear, slowing down progress.
For Mr Major, at home in his Huntingdon constituency, a spirited endorsement from Mrs Thatcher would come as a welcome relief. Anything less might add to his woes. Mark Webster, ITN, Westminster.
The Ministry of Defence won't confirm that an RAF officer is to be court-martialled after the theft from his car of a computer containing Gulf War plans, but he is likely to face disciplinary charges. The laptop computer was stolen from the boot of Wing Commander David Farquhar's car while it was parked. The computer was returned anonymously by post to the Defence Ministry. President Gorbachev has agreed to step up cooperation with Boris Yeltsin following his election as President of the Russian Federation last week. In an interview on Soviet television, Mr Gorbachev welcomed Mr Yeltsin's victory. He said it was a sign of support for the Kremlin's call to speed up economic reform. The reigning Wimbledon champion Stefan Edberg of Sweden has won the final of the 1991 Stella Artois tennis tournament at Queen's. Edberg beat American David Wheaton in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3. That's it. I'll be back with our main bulletin tonight at 10 to 10. Goodbye.
Good evening. A 12-year-old boy from Kings Lynn has died in a 4-car pile-up near Portsmouth. John Laker from Wormingay Road was returning home with his family late yesterday afternoon when the accident happened on the M275. His mother and sister were also injured in the crash. The Sizewell B nuclear power station moved a step closer to completion today when part of the dome was fixed to the main reactor. The decision to make the lift using the world's largest lorry-mounted crane was taken only after consulting experts at the Norwich Weather Centre. It was essential that the wind speed should reach no more than 12 miles an hour for the dome section to be lifted 150 feet into place. Well, all eyes were on the skies over Norfolk today at the Breckland Air Show, and it wasn't just to check whether another shower was on the way. Those who did risk the weather for the annual air show at RAF Squanton Morley were treated to a series of spectacular displays. Mosquito, Hawk, Jaguar and Tornado aircraft were all put through their paces. The show is expected to attract 15,000 visitors. The bells are ringing in the village of Knapton in North Norfolk today for one of its former residents, 86-year-old Dorothy Margette. It's a sound she's waited more than 30 years to hear.
The bells of St. Peter and St. Paul in the village of Knapton have never sounded quite like this before. Until this week, the church had to be content with a ring of just 5 bells. But a 6th has now been added thanks to a former resident and bell ringer who moved away from the village 30 years ago. It all started when pensioner Dorothy Margette was burgled at her home in Hampshire and robbed of antiques worth £10,000. Instead of replacing them, she decided to spend the insurance money on a 6th bell for her old church. The new bell, weighing 300 weight, was cast at the Whitechapel Foundry in London. It was dedicated in a special service this afternoon, conducted by the Bishop of Thetford.
Well, that's the news. Now here with the weather is Peter Walker.
Good evening. Yesterday's thick grey cloud has finally moved away southeast. It's now over France and Germany. There are some breaks in the cloud over the North Sea. Over the land, though, during the day, some quite thick cloud has built up, giving some showers. And those showers are coming from the north towards us, and that's going to be the situation for some time. It's quite cool air that's coming down, and there's also the possibility of some thicker areas of cloud like the one over in the north. They're going to also move southwards as we get small lows. There will be quite small lows coming down the North Sea like that, and they'll bring the more unsettled weather back again every now and again. But during the night, clear periods inland particularly will give perhaps 1 or 2 mist patches later on, and there'll be some scattered showers in the northeast. Those clear periods would also mean the temperatures go down to about 6 degrees Celsius, 43 Fahrenheit as a minimum, with very light winds. Tomorrow starting off with probably 1 or 2 sunny periods, not too bad, fair start, but the showers building up quite quickly and becoming heavy and possibly thundery later in the day, and possibly also some more general cloud by the end of the day. Maximum temperatures below the seasonal normal, maximum of about 15, 59 Celsius, and still the northwesterly winds quite light. In the outlook, one of the lows has moved right across the North Sea, another one to come, so generally unsettled with some rain at times.
Remember this, and what about this? Yes, the hilarious home video show You've Been Framed is back with the best of those magic moments. Moments when you've been ambushed by the unexpected, but somehow you've captured it all on video. Unpredictable, unscriptable, but most of all, unforgettable. Don't miss another brilliant collection of your funniest home videos in You've Been Framed.
Tonight, 10 to 8 on Anglia.
I want to be a tomato. I want to be in bed. I want to be different.
I want to be expelled.
I want to be able to scratch it.
I want to be home an hour ago.
I want to be a tree.
I want to be safe, not sorry.
I want to be served.
I want to be in Europe.
I want to be loved.
I want
want to be in conglomerates.
Whatever you want to be in life, you want to be with Prudential.
Do you want to join a club where you can have a lot of fun and do something really important too? Why not join WATCH? WATCH is a national club for young people who care about wildlife and the environment. It's part of the RSNC Wildlife Trust Partnership. When you join, you can help with important national and local projects, get magazines and posters, and learn more about the environment. If you want to join in the fun, find out more by phoning Anglia Action on Ipswich 217 363.
Now we're off to Snowdonia with Dana.